Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's been a longish session. We request you all to participate in this lively event. There are very tenured individuals in the industry. Each one of them are coming in with their experiences, leveraging technology to grow their brick and mortar industry. One from the publishing house, one is into the utility space. There's an organization here which is into traditional manufacturing. So we hope that it is going to be an engaging session where you as an audience might at this point in time be feeling that AI might not be artificial intelligence is a buzzword, of course. Is it going to be used in your organizations at this point in time? Probably that's a question that all of you have. Hopefully this panel discussion is going to throw out those suggestions, viewpoints, which will probably help you guys go back and to the drawing board and start leveraging AI as a platform. If we are able to accomplish that on today's discussion, I think it would be time well spent. With this, let me quickly get started with a quick round of our personal introductions. We plan to spend about 15-20 odd minutes on this session. There are about two questions that will go around for each of the panelists. And if there are any audience questions at any point in time, please feel free to, do you think we should take the questions at the end or we'll invite people to participate? So we'll go by flow. My name is Dheeraj Venkatram. I'm the Director for Operations and HR for Techunited. Techunited is an 8-year-old IT services firm. We are based out of Bangalore. We are a 70-member team, and we work with OEMs like Cisco, which is a competitor for Zoom in the collaboration space, Microsoft, Oracle, and few other OEMs in the office infrastructure and management spaces. I would, with a lot of pride and because Hindu is a newspaper that I as a Bangalorean have been reading as a child. We've grown up reading Hindu as a publication. So it's with a lot of pleasure that I invite you, Suresh, on the stage. I will let you kind of do a quick personal introduction about you and your organization, and then we'll go to the other panelists.
Hello. First, thanks for having me here today. And incidentally, today is a Founders' Day for us. In 1878, September 20, Hindu was founded.
Wow. Congratulations.
146 years we have completed today. And back in the office, celebrations are happening, so I have to after completing this, I have to go and join those celebrations there. And with 146 years, Hindu has seen lots of transformations. So right from hot metal printing to the latest AI-enabled digital publishing platform. So it has gone through so many different transformations, but the transformation that we are seeing today is a disruptive transformation. So give an example of how disruptive it is. I will take I think all of you would have seen or heard the name of Kodak and Konica, those manufacturers of film which is used in film cameras, right? And they are not in business today. The film cameras itself is not in business today, and what actually came about that disruptive transformation is, while we think that it's the digital cameras that caused this disruption, it is not the case actually. Digital cameras were taken over by mobile cameras, but along with that mobile cameras came evolution of so many technologies. Internet became very easily accessible to people. Mobile phones created an app environment. That means today you can take a photograph in the mobile phone, edit it on the phone itself, and share it with your friends in WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram, and also save it in OneDrive. So everything is the same. What we did before this era was, if there's an occasion like this, we used to take a photo and film it and put it in a frame and keep it in the house, right? The whole thing is, the experience has completely changed today, and the same change is happening to the news readers. People who are reading on papers, now they have completely, their behavior has changed. Gen Z is completely on mobile phones. So as an organization which is distributing news, today people don't come to us for news, they come to us for views. Because news is available everywhere. 24/7, there are empty number of channels which is talking about various things that is happening, and they are waiting for breaking news to come, and news is taken up, and you keep seeing that every day, right? So we realize as an organization, people don't come to us for news, they come to us for views. And how do we engage back with the audience? We use a traditional newsprint paper as a channel. We reach you on websites. We reach you on mobile phones. I'm sure tomorrow we will come to on wearables also. That means there's a small thing running on in a spectacle that says breaking news. Click this button so that you can hear the news on your iPods. It could happen. That's how we have evolved.
Awesome. Thanks, Suresh. You kind of gave us a perspective. Publishing is probably one of the oldest businesses in human mankind. And you as an organization, which is again a century odd old, how you're evolving and staying current in time, it's a learning lesson, I'm sure, for all of us. Appreciate you sharing with. Next on my left is Mr. Balakrishnan Kanniah. He is the Chief Information Officer for Wabag. They are an organization which is into utilities, water, supply, conservation. In this world today, which is forced to look at climate change on an everyday basis, I'm sure his organization is doing a lot of technology-based investments in R&D to figure out how water, which is such a very, very key resource for human mankind, how they are leveraging AI and technology. Would like to hear from him. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and myself is Balakrishnan. I'm associated with the company VA Tech Wabag, and VA Tech Wabag is more onto that water and wastewater management sustainability business. And basically, we are doing converting the wastewater into the industry usable water and supply with all the industries. And probably you can see that on the way of OMR Road, Mahabalipuram, when we are going that left-hand side, there is a plant, a 400 MLD plant, and it's operated by Wabag. And also in the Coimbatore, you could see that in the larger backdrop, and you can see that when you travel in the metro, you could see there is a land with a small pond, other things and all. That's also managed by VA Tech Wabag. And we are converting the wastewaters into the usable water. This water flow, probably when you travel to that Sri Perumbudur, you could see the pipeline in your left-hand side. There is a huge pipe is travel along with you till the wrong road. Probably you think it's a water pipe. Yes, it's a water pipe. It is maintained by VA Tech Wabag, and it is pumping all the Syncopian and the multiple industries which is in Sri Perumbudur segment, and they are using our water. Why they are using it? And there is a limitation of consuming the groundwater is the biggest challenge. Industries or factories, definitely they need larger amount of water to run the business. And again, if you look at most of the industries, if you look at it, is on riverbed. Probably they can easily get the water from the river and use it and dissolve it and return back to the river. That's what they are doing it. But here in Chennai, little bit challenge here, so that the government is organized to dissolve the water and pumping to that, convert it to the wastewater into the usable water. Again, we are supporting the environment as well. This is on the business side. And how the AI will be help. What the AI solution we are bringing on the water business. So that's a question will be coming to your mind, right? The AI, the desal or plants are more onto the usage of the chemical and the automation. What we are doing, we are getting a water from the corporation, all the wastewater. Basically, let's talk about the drainage waters. We are pumping to the store and clean the water, and it will be coming to the desal plants. Then we are converting this water into the industry usable water, and that's using the pipeline, it will be taken to the factories. Where the AI will come into that? AI is coming to the picture, how much demand today from the industry. Tomorrow is a Dasara holiday, the plants are holiday, leave. So how much water I can produce? So how I am going to reduce the intake water level and converting into output, the wastages to flow that and converting into the chemicals and the pumping stations and the motors and the labor activity, all will come into the AI driven plant. So I have to get for example, for easy understanding, 50 liters of water from that desal plants. or is an STP plant. So the conversion of the water from the 50 liters, probably 45 liters I will be converted as a usable water. There's a demand and the supply and the chemical usage, the pump, the motor, IoTs, and this all is managed by the complete automation AI platform. This all feed code to the PLC systems. The PLC system, you are all from the manufacturing segment, PLC having number of feeds. There's a huge number of feeds. From the huge number of feeds, we have the selective feeds get into that and analyze with the history data. What is the backend history and how much we are going to with the data with this. And from the data, it will be converted to the usable data. This data, this IoT sensors feeding into the motors and the chemical producers. So the chemical will be flowing to that. So end of the day, this chain will be going seamlessly. I can reduce and increase my supply. I can reduce and increase my delivery seamlessly without a huge manual intervention. So that's where we are using into the AI use cases for my plant operations. I have many use cases in AI, my back office operation. Probably I'll touch upon the next question from Dheeraj.
Appreciate it. I mean, that was a very insightful view you shared on how AI is being leveraged so extensively in something as elementary as water management. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Raghu Achat. He is the Vice President for Information Technology for Thejo Engineering. It's an organization which is about 35 years old, founded by two pioneering individuals, founders. They have powered along and stayed current in the changing times. I'll let Raghu walk us through his organization's journey.
Thank you. So unlike the Hindu whom you would probably see every day, and Bala's organization which you would see, Wabag, which you might see, big plants which are there along highways or maybe even Coimbatore, like he said, you'll probably never get to see us outside. Okay, but you can thank us for the electricity in case it's available to you, because we are into conveyors maintenance. Okay, the bulk material handling. And the conveyors that we handle are all mission critical equipment for our customers. Like it could be a thermal plant, it could be a port where we got to convey 1,000, 2,000 tons of coal every hour kind of a thing. A ship comes in, it has to be unloaded in 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on the size. So those conveyor systems we maintain. So in a thermal plant, we maintain those conveyor systems which are probably 50, 60, 70 kilometers long. In various sections. If that fails, obviously your boilers cannot run, which means you cannot generate steam, which means there is no electricity. So those are the kind of systems that we operate on. It's actually a 47, 48-year-old organization. Today started off by two people as proprietorship, and today we are a listed company on NSE today.
Awesome. That actually lends us well into a set of curated questions that we have put together, keeping in mind the audience and also the industry that you guys are in. How many employees do you have currently, your organization, if that's...
1,500 plus.
1,500 plus, that's a sizable number. So the question I have for you is, how are you leveraging AI currently, or if there's a plan around it, to enhance employee productivity, where you have all these employees spread probably across geographies? That's the question for you.
Right. So before we get, let me do Zoom a favor. So, and relate back to some of the points that they mentioned during their presentation. So typically, I think all of us would have faced this scenario where you're 10, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and you're sitting in an airport or you're on a train. And suddenly you remember that, what happened to that thing, that data which I wanted, which is something which somebody in your organization is maintaining on his or own or her desktop and is supposed to mail it to you on a weekly basis or a alternate day basis, and you're sitting nowhere, and what data you have on your WhatsApp or on your email, if you pick it up, it's probably about a week old. It has happened to all of us. And then you got to wait till 7, 8, 9 in the morning till he or she gets back to the office and updates the data and sends it to you. Correct?
Yep.
We faced it, right? All of us have faced it. So what I did in my organization is, when I joined about 3.5 years ago, I said, you are not going to mail me anything. I said, if it is a common file which I need to access, when I need to access at my convenience, you put it on the central folder. In their case, Zoom Docs, as the case may be. I will need to see it when I need to see it. You update it there. You will not maintain a copy of it on your desktop. You will not own that data. You will not own that Excel file. You will put it there. You will update it there. And I will take a look at it when I need to take a look at it. I may need to look at it daily basis. I may need to look at it every hour. Because I might have some ideas coming up. And I might need to look at that data. Right? So, coming to the theme for today, which is team and productivity, I thought that was something which all of it could be a Zoom Docs, it could be any of the competitors, whatever you guys are, platform that you guys are using, but please leverage it. And I've seen a lot of people struggling because they don't have the latest thing. They're going to call this guy up and he's got to wake up and then he's got to WhatsApp it to you or email it to you or whatever it is. So avoid that. Coming to the AI part of it, so I thought that was something which all of us face, and I have faced it in my previous organization when I took this thing over. I mandated saying that, so my team in 3 years' time, we not exchanged any emails with Excel files, anything like that. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. Could be an Excel file, could be a Word file, whatever it is. It's available centrally. We take a look at it when we want to look at it. And we update it. The comments are all there and things like that. So that's as far as productivity is concerned. As far as AI is concerned, it's more into what we are using is less about productivity and it's more about leveraging insights into the data that we have, which is already there on our platform, centralized platforms. And on the other side also what we're doing is we're collecting a whole lot of data, which is machine related, IoT related, and those kinds of things, which are feeds which are coming in, the streams and streams and streams of data which are coming in. So that gets collated into our ERP systems, which has got the business data, which has got the production data, which has got your various other financial data, which is there. So that is where we are actually trying to do some work. Some early, success that we have had is in the recruitment team. Of all places, the recruitment team. So they are, like I said, we are over 1,500, 1,700 kind of an organization. So certain parts of the business, they have a lot of churn which happens, the blue collar level. So what we did is we put all these PDFs and that which is basically a CVs, resumes and things like that into a central place. Could be a PDF, it could be an image which he's taken on his WhatsApp and given it to you. It could be a Word document, whatever it is. So the recruitment guy does not have to search. All he does is like a ChatGPT kind of a thing. He queries it, saying that I need a boiler operator who's got CHP experience and this and in Bihar kind of a thing, and he gets a list of people. So the thing is actually able to read your PDFs, summarize it, and give it to you to say that this fellow, Sushil Kumar, and some Sharma and somebody who's a Varma and things like this is his number. Numbers also come up there. So he's able to actually churn through probably 3, 4, 5, 6,000 documents like that, which probably would not be possible otherwise. So this is an early win for us. We haven't deployed it yet. Okay, but this we see as a very early win for us.
Thanks, Raghu. That's a very apt way of leveraging technology, existing technology, to increase productivity. In fact, one of the questions that is listed here is about how improving collaboration among teams. You spelled it out very clearly, step by step, how you're doing it. As a technology evangelist, one question for you before we move on. Where do you see AI getting even more better used in your business? Not just in technology, but as a business, where do you see AI being leveraged?
So one thing, of course, is to give people insights. Okay. So what we've also built on AI is, first of all, is AI the end of everything? I don't think so. Okay, I really don't think so. I'll sort of come back to that point, but let me answer your question first, which is, One more thing that we did is, since we are doing conveyor maintenance, what we do is our guys go on a regular basis, look at the conveyors, find out the condition of the conveyor. So they are able to identify if there is a chip in the rubber, if there is a fraying on the edge, or if it is moved out and stuff like that. So what we are currently developing is a high-end camera-based system. So as the conveyor is running, so if somebody has to physically inspect it, he has to stop the conveyor and then only inspect it. But if we do it as the conveyor is running, so we don't even have to have a downtime take a downtime for it. So we are using image recognition there. So we've taught this model as to what is a damage looks like, what a tear looks like, and things like that. It's still very much in the early stages. So today we're not gone into conveyor systems per se. We just went to a puncture repair fellow, got some tubes, and we sort of trained our model on that. We sort of put some cuts on it and things like that. So we sort of trained that model. It's very early stages. So that's where we are planning on improving our business per se. But since we're talking to the SME audience, coming back to my earlier point about whether AI is the end of it, I'm actually worried.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Right. Because these are the gentlemen who are actually going to drive the business per se. And more than the business, it's about the employment. Because our rate of growth of population is pretty high. And today we are facing a problem of growth is there, but there are no jobs. Employment is down. So it's not because jobs are not there. It is just that people's productivity has improved so much that somebody who used to employ maybe 10 people earlier now only needs 3.
Great point.
Right? So I'm actually worried. It's a point of worry, and it's a good thing if the MSMEs and the SMEs and MSMEs start using technology to produce or be more productive, but it's going to have a negative effect somewhere down the line, and we already started to see it. I think the economists are calling it jobless growth. I think that's a term that they're using these days. So it's a bit of a worry.
Interesting perspective. Any thoughts before? Is there any thoughts you would like to add to what Raghu said?
Partly, I agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be, because a country like ours, where we have a huge population, so we need to be very, in fact, even before AI, I would say that in automation itself, we have to be careful, because automation, we cannot do it for the sake of automation that can actually deprive somebody of their livelihood. Mm-hmm. So we need to balance technical advancements and social compulsions in a country like us. But that's a very larger problem which needs to be addressed at the country level itself.
Yeah, macroeconomic level. Makes sense, Suresh. This is food for thought. One, how technology is eventually going to be used. As MSMEs, we all can start thinking around our use case, our business. Is there something that AI can help make us more productive, increase our bottom line, or that's absolutely the way forward, because as an enterprise, we all want to survive and then thrive. So great points you brought up. Suresh, back to you. There are couple of linked questions, and I'm going to ask them in one go so that you can frame your thoughts. You alluded to it already. You guys are going digital. Publishing is going digital. Malayalam Manorama is probably one of our biggest you guys might be surprised. They have a huge IT budget running into probably a few millions in dollars. So what are the 3 points in terms of your digital first strategy, and how is that kind of impacting your organization? And the second thing is, you talked about it earlier, how you are leveraging AI to better deliver a customer experience, which is we end users. Those are the 2 questions.
So first, I'll take the first question, digital first, right? That's the result of the disruptive transformation that has happened. Right? So now when we used to be traditional print publishing industry, the whole workflow used to be oriented towards the print publishing timelines. So normally we print the first edition around 10:30, 11 in the night. So the collation of news itself will happen towards the evening. So that an event that happened, say for example, this event happened in the morning, say somebody from Hindu is attending this event, he will take notes and he will go back and he will compile his report and submit it around 5 o'clock in the evening. Today, we are live broadcasting this event, right? So that has completely changed. The digital first workflow, when it talks about this, when real time you are able to get information about an event, convert that and publish. So that's the first thing. Second thing comes with how I'm able to cover. In traditional print publishing, there's always a fight between ad teams and editorial teams in terms of space. Every additional page that we publish, it's a cost of paper, cost of plate, cost of ink, everything, right? There's a ratio that they follow. So this much of percentage is given to editorial and this much is given to advertisement. And even in editorial, if they're covering this event, I saw the photographer even clicking us 10, 15 times while we are sitting there, right? But we might only publish one picture of this event in the paper itself. Now with digital, that has changed. I can put a gallery. I can have an article with a gallery of pictures. So I can just put some 50 pictures. I can have a video. I can put a podcast along with that. So it's what we call as multimedia storytelling. Earlier it used to be only just what you write. Now it is like you start with an point, then you shift to a picture, you shift to a photo, video, then you come back to a podcast, then you write a small summary to complete this. So the whole thing is becoming, that when you say digital, that's what we are looking at. So the whole infrastructure that we are building, right from what a reporter is capable of doing up to... Yes, that's all. Everything comes in. So this is what digital first, meaning the whole workflow has changed. Today reports start filing right in the morning. So if somebody is putting up a report at 6 a.m. in the morning, which never used to be the case when we are pure print play person. That's from digital first means what happens to us. The whole workflow has changed differently today.
And I'm sure, sorry to interrupt, point I wanted to allude to here is it's also the behavior of consumption of news, right? We are driving these changes. We as data consumers, we are forcing organizations like you to evolve.
That transformation only is the one that's impacting us. So we have to change ourselves to make sure that we are... Earlier it used to be like people get the newspaper in the morning, they read it, and while traveling also they read. Today I don't see, I travel by train every day. I'm doing a personal experiment. I look at about 50-60% of the people in the trains, they always on their mobile phones. Right? Yep. I keep watching what each person is doing. They are on WhatsApp, they are on Facebook. Somebody is even doing trading. They're buying and selling stocks in the train when they are coming. I have not seen anybody reading news. I have not even seen a single, only one person that I have met who actually was reading an Hindu e-paper is the one working in the harbor. Because he's an UPSC candidate. UPSC candidates buy a Hindu for them to pass. And that thing is continuing, right? He had that e-paper he was reading. This experiment I'm running, I think it has gone past 18 months now. Except for that one person, I have not seen anybody reading news with a mobile phone in the... So I'm going and contradicting my own subscription editorial teams. I have not seen anybody doing. Why are you telling mobile is the future? Of course. Having said that, we are having data that is coming to us. We know that people are reading more news only on mobile phones. Our systems are telling us that people are reading more news on mobile phones. We are able to understand from which region they are reading. Everything comes to us now. Coming back to the second question, how we leverage AI, right? So in AI, we have to be careful. There are two generations. That means before Gen AI, before Open Chat GPT came, AI was still there for several years, right?
Absolutely.
And that era of AI and AI ML, as we used to call, and the generative AI that is there today, we have to see them as two different angles. We cannot combine these two and then see them together. Generative AI has actually democratized AI. It has commoditized AI. People started using it for everything. I tell in my office, it's being used to improve the happiness quotient of people. Whether it has improved the productivity quotient, there is still no clear evidence of that unless you have a very clear use case of where you are going to use AI in that manner, right? Happiness quotient, my emails are very good. My colleague writes an email, it looks like Shashi Tharoor has written that email because some of the words that he has used, even Shashi Tharoor is the only person who can use those words because he copy-paste in ChatGPT, put back and send a mail. He's very happy, he sent a very good email. Earlier it used to be broken English, right? Now the PowerPoint presentations are very good. He's very happy that he has done a very beautiful presentation today. But has that changed? Are we able to have a link to the top line, bottom line? Unless you have a very clear use case and key measurable parameters that can tie to a top line, bottom line, you can't still say that it is actually helping. So we have to be very careful in how generative AI is being used in organizations unless you have a clear use case. How we do it? Before generative AI, all our articles are actually tagged by AI/ML algorithms to say that which category this article belongs. Say for example, I will give an example. There are two articles, both the articles has picture and information about Jayalalitha, Karunanidhi and MGR. But one could be a political article one could be an article from cinema, because these three people were associated with both. But we need algorithm to be able to tell that this article is actually something related to cinema, but this article is something related to politics. The algorithms are trained to do that. And when you come and read our website, this is live since 2020. Our algorithm tries to understand what you are reading. It tries to profile you. Okay, you are a person who is spending more time on sports, and even in sports, you are spending more time on cricket. Even in cricket, if it's a Tendulkar article, you are the first to read. So now the algorithm can understand that when they are publishing an article about Tendulkar and you are on our site reading, it will come back and tell you a new article has been published by Tendulkar. Do you want to read it? That means we are trying to improve your engagement with us by using AI and ML algorithm. That's how we use traditional AI ML in profiling people, and also using propensity modeling where, okay, you are coming and you are registered, you are a free reader. That means you are not paying, but you are reading. We say some 20 articles, free articles that you can read. By understanding your engagement, the algorithm is able to come and tell, okay, this is the right time, I'll put him a subscription card that he will subscribe. And whether you will subscribe for a $499 plan or a $999 plan also, the algorithm is able to determine. So it's able to put you the right card, so you subscribe. We see 60-70% success rate in getting subscriptions by using those algorithms. That's how we use propensity modeling, traditional AIML in our infrastructure. Coming to GenAI, how we use that. So today, a subeditor is sitting and writing his article, and he wanted to create a heading for that. Now we use GenAI where it can come back and say, okay, these are 3 different headings that you can use for this article. Or he can say, this article, it's 500 words, I want to reduce it to 400 words. He can actually use GenAI to reduce it to 400 words, but we use what is called as a man-in-the-loop model, wherein everything is shown to the user by the AI, but AI cannot take the decision. It's actually taken by the editorial staff themselves. As I want to accept this heading, I want to accept this change in the paragraph, and it's actually tagged inside that this part has been changed by AI, so we know what has come through AI, what has been originally created. Okay. So that aspect is there. So GenAI is being used in these angles, and combining GenAI with the AIML modeling, when I'm writing an article about, say, for example, Hindus 146 years history is available as archive inside, and we are starting to do this tagging of those articles using AIML. Okay. One that we are planning to do, which is not live, will be live in another 6 months' time, is while I write an article, system can come and tell, you have written articles like this in the last 146 years in these days. These are all the articles that you have. And I can create real-time links to those articles so that when the user comes to my website, he's not only able to read this, he can say that Hindu has wrote about this in 1920 on this day. So it ensures that you get more information about that, both for the content creator as well as for the subscribers. That's what AI will help us do.
And you're building engagement, right? You're going to get the repeat
so you make people come back to our site again and again. Yeah. So we create engagement and then convert them into loyal subscribers.
Awesome. Actually, as a SME sector, while Hindu might have pedigree in terms of years and also in terms of scale, it's never too early to start leveraging technology to whatever small extent. There are a lot of these free tools which are available. I think it's a good start probably to start leveraging some of those free tools. And then eventually as the organization grows, obviously when business generates money, obviously we can build further on that. The interest of time, I'm going to quickly club a couple of questions and ask Bala. You did talk about it earlier. Collaborating among your disparate employees, you have, I think, across 4 different countries, employees spread out. And one is collaboration, the other one is, you already talked about AI, but kindly dig in deeper into that, please.
Let me throw some, to make interesting in the conversation and connect with the audience, let me throw some light on the AI use cases which is implemented, generally available for all the industry, because every board have an urge to implement AI on the business. That's a demand as on today. What are the AI we can do that probably we'll talk about? See, we have to thank COVID, because specific to the manufacturing industry can work from home or can we work on the hybrid model is a question. And sometime back, if you ask anything, and definitely the board rejects or the manager rejects, we can't do work from home or hybrid model. Please come on office, even you are the sick or you are unwell, even your father, mother are admitted in the hospital, you are a critical resource, you have to come and stand in front of machine, you have to do the work. That's a state couple of years back, but not that today's. I will throw some light on the used cases, which is I implemented. Point one is an ESS. It's a safety environment. How we can do that? If the people in the shop floor, the people is wearing on the right gear and the cap and the shoes, how we do that? Normally we do the roll call in the morning and we have to inform all the people to do that, and finally they will be go work on that. We don't know whether they are removing the cap and remove that safety gears and all. The AI cameras are available to monitor how much amount of the time they are wearing on that specifically earmark. This is a critical area. When he is crossing that particular area, he has to wear the gears, safety equipments. It will capture and send it to that safety officer and he will take action. Second used case, the same investment you can do that actually. The people in the shop floor, how much time he is in availability in the shop floor. He is in the punch card. He punch that, or thumb impression, biometric, he do that. And once go to the shop floor, and really he is in the shop floor or not, he roam around some other places, it will be identify the availability where how much time he is in the shop floors, and finally it is sent to the time office. See, he is available in morning 8 o'clock, shift to evening 6 o'clock till the time. He is physically available in the shop floor only 5 hours. Rest of the hours, probably he may in the cafeteria, he may in the washroom, he may gone somewhere. Probably that's the time of his staff has to be investigate and understand and what's next steps. These are two used cases along with the camera. With a single investment we can do that. We have implemented successfully. Theft management. We have given very costly equipment to the laborers and do the activity. Labor is in doing some malpractices. There is a costly relay is there. He want to break the relay, or he want to take into the bag. Even frisking, all those things we are doing it, still we have to identify, and there is a 5 to 10% of the leakage of the equipments and loss of the equipment. Unknowingly, we all are faced the issue. How to address that? The same investment of the camera, we can do that. When the person going to take this mobile phone, first what he will do, he search, where is the camera? Okay, here is the camera. Right, here is the camera. So when the eye-to-eye contact established with the camera, then he will become under the close monitoring. So he going to do something. So please go and monitor. So it will be go to that BMS room, building management or factory management room. There is a people who have a side-to-side contact connect with the camera. If we are doing the work, why we are going to search the camera? So the same investment. I'm telling that one investment, it will solve 4 purposes. So when the connect with the camera, so will be coming under the radar of suspicious activity, will monitor the person, and there is a 19% chance he done some malicious activity in the shop floor in the factory. So this is the simple used case along with the camera with AI. Nothing rocket science, nothing magic. Earlier, probably we see the older movies, MGR is in fighting with the management, announcing a strike, saying that, and we are 100 laborers is there, and you are bringing a machine, is spoiling my work, so that how we are going to compensate the work. There is a camera, there is an older movies to that. We all are evident in our ages and telephone operators. You could see my auntie is a telephone operator. He is switching the cables and transferring the call, trunk call, other call, all those things. When coming to the EPA-based era, we all are thinking what we are going to do with the telephone operators. The similar way the typewriter with the electronic typewriter computers and all. But the AI will not kill the jobs. AI will increase the jobs. So this is the used cases. I have done it one. This is on the shop floors. Probably to make interesting, if the time available, I'll tell 2 used cases.
Sure, go ahead, please.
On the back office operation. Coming to the back office operation. What the back office operation will do? We have ERP solutions. We have talent recruitment solutions. We have a few legacy applications already onboarded. Every company, every organization have this, the minimum of 3 or 4 applications with us, right? In the minimum 3 or 4 applications, how to help to improve our business? What AI need? AI is in giving a Power BI dashboard. That is a history record that is already available. Power BI will do that. Why I have to do the AI? AI will give a predictive and prescriptive analysis. What is the predictive analysis? You have a raw material. You order the raw material with the X vendor, Y vendor, Z vendor. The vendor is supply the raw material. The raw materials travel back to your factory in Jamshedpur and Ghaziabad or some other places. Then the factory has to be inspect. The site people has to be receive and do that process, and finally finished goods go out. In the board meeting on the Power BI presentation, we are going to get the Power BI. It will show the result. We have ordered this material on transit. We order this material delivered, and we are in the factory, we are delivering something, we are factories and we are preparing something like that. Think the AI will verify the history record of the vendor A on the 5 years based on our order with a specific material. The material delivery, the lead time is 30 days, but your project manager saying it will be delivered in 15 days. In the history, it is not possible. In the 5 years you are doing business with the vendor, he never supplied the material minimum 30 days. But your project manager or the project control team saying that 15 to 20 days the material delivered. Now you have asked the question to the project manager or the specific person using the history record. Vendor A is not supplied at any point in the past 5 years within 30 days. You are saying that 2 weeks. How it is possible? Any magic or anything is an improvement on that? What is the last order? What is when it's delivered? Second, after the material delivered, when you process it, the processing A based on work on the only history records. How much history amount of data we are going to feed it, A will perfectly give us a 90% accurate result. Still we need a manual intervention. In your record, made to order, this particular order delivery, you have not done it at any point in time 3 to 5 weeks time. How come you say that it is in 9 weeks? The best benchmark is in 6 weeks in COVID time. Now you are asking 8 weeks. So 2 weeks, why can't we reduce it to 5 weeks? This question you can ask along with the AI. So you can make AI as a friend of you. So it is giving a predictive and prescriptive vision to you in day-to-day life of business. The similar way, how we are going to hire a talent recruitment team. In my talent recruitment team, I have a 15,100 people, employees in my organization. I have a project on the pipeline. I have a project on the pipeline, short-term pipeline. I need this amount of skills we need, and the project will get over in another 2 years. The end of the 2 year, I may not require these peoples and all. I can't ask to go right. I can't give a golden check and, okay, happy, you are supporting with me, you can, now the project is over. So how I'm going to create a visibility? It will be get the availability on the, what is the project, the pipeline, the CR? What is the available projects in my hand? What is my order book? It's compile and give the data. You have 1,500 employees. To meet the business, to deliver on time, you need additional 300 employees only for 3 months, not beyond that. So the 3 months decision you can take with AI. But to the benefit of time, I will limit with this.
Appreciate it. It's very instructive how you have leveraged technology to do process improvements, which are in turn helping, obviously, safety is one, very critical. You're helping grow your organization's bottom line. So very, 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 very thoughtful. With that, gentlemen, it's a wrap in terms of the questions that we had. I would urge and invite the audience to make use of this opportunity to ask questions to the panel. Specifically, these are technology leaders who have driven change across multiple organizations. I urge the audience to ask questions if you have any.
I have a question to
I
the
would like to
panelists.
interactive session, probably ask 2 or questions, we are very happy.
So I have a question to the panelists. We talk about the AI and how it is we are integrating into the SME sector and how it is going to kill some sort of SMEs. Okay, and Now, coming point to the SME sector, what will be your suggestions to the SME sector? How they can implement the AI and how it can be betterly used for their development? Okay, like innovation, technologies, and sir was talking about the loss of some sort of a job, skill jobs, that AI will take part. So, what will be your single line mantra to the SME sector?
Okay. So we'll sort of split it into two parts and I'll quickly answer that. So I think we got some very good examples from both the sides. So one, how is technology and or AI, broadly speaking, can help you is, one is on customer acquisition, acquiring more business and retaining your customers. He gave a couple of good examples in his space. It could be very, fitted into your space also. Bala spoke about how we can improve human productivity. He also spoke about how we can improve machine productivity also. That's going to help you. Another space coming further down in your line of business is financial management, your cash flow management. All these things, can definitely be improved by you using technology and or AI. Now, how is, one more example which Bala gave, or a point which he made about is, don't rely on it too much to make your decisions. Your decisions are your decisions. What it will help you is to crunch a whole lot of numbers and tell you where the problems are or where you can do better. And what you do with it, you retain it with yourself. That is very important. Don't think that this is some magic and somebody will appear and it will tell you, okay, you do this or you do this. No, it's not going to do that. It should not be used for doing that also. So, but please use technology the way you need to use it. It's a fantastic tool. You're trying to tighten a nut with your hand. Yes, you can do it. But beyond a point, you need a spanner for it. And you need it very specific, then you got to use a torque wrench for it. So use it as a tool. It should not replace you. It should not replace your employees. Now, coming to the second part of the question about losing jobs, no, I did not say losing jobs, I was talking about generating jobs. Okay, so he addressed it in a different way to say that we need more people. But he also used the example of somebody who was writing, becoming a typewriter operator, becoming a computer operator, to etc., etc. So the skill has to upgrade. Okay, and the last point that I would like to make is, are you going to attempt all this on your own after artificial intelligence, using computer technology and all those kinds of things on your own? Please don't bother doing that. Because A, you do not have the skills, may not have the skills for it, and I'm pretty sure that you may not have the deep pockets to attempt it at all. Okay, and that's where the chamber of SME chamber comes in. So you have a better, more deeper pockets, you have more reach, you will be able to do this collectively so that your people benefit, your organization, the association per se benefits. Individually on their own, it's going to be very, very difficult because AI per se is very expensive. Very, very expensive. It took me about 18 months to get my first AI project cleared from my board because I had to go right up to the board because nobody else wanted to take a risk. 18 months it took me. So I'll be very surprised if any of them have deep enough pockets to do these things on their own, or even the time to do it on your own. So depend on them, put a lot of pressure on the association, and they will be able to collectively do it for you. But you must do it. Don't ignore it. It's just a matter of adopting or perishing.
Let me add a few words. SMEs segment. It's a SME, small and medium. My suggestion, go with the half-the-shelf model first. Don't build your own solution at an early stage. Because ROI of AI is in a long term. You can't get the ROI immediately. Half-the-shelf SaaS models are readily available to improve your business and improve your productivity. But some custom solutions, probably you think on that once you stabilize, and probably you can do some investment to improve the productivity. Yes.
Quickly, I would like to add, there are a lot of freeware which is available. As AI is being built, there are a lot of competitors who are stepping in. And nothing wrong in leveraging some of the freeware available so that you get a taste of it, and if it works for you, then obviously you go to the licensed versions of it. Any other questions? If not, we'll invite the... There is. Go ahead, sir.
We can take a last question.
So I think the mic is not on.
I'm Dr. Not audible, sir. Plans are directed by VA Tech, other agencies. Not able to hear, sir.
Hello.
Lot of desal plants are being erected in Chennai and surrounding areas, namely and other places by VA Tech, Wabag and other companies also. At the same time, the rainwater and the river water is getting wasted. It's going to the sea. And now Chennai is expected, even Hindu news item was there 2-3 days back, that it is going to face a very severe water logging and all that due to the rains which are expected in December. It faced already a lot 2-3 years back. So can AI help in this regard, particularly in water management and...
I'm not an expert, I'm not a government body to answer this question perfectly. But what I read, probably I can answer. They taken a geo location AI and where are the places in the last 3-4 years water logging, and the government is taking action actually. But really, I don't know about what is the action and what is the result and all. It is not relevant to my expertise area. I'm really sorry, sir.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. It was a very interactive and a very instructive conversation that we all had. Hopefully the audience also found it the same. There's a question? No. Cool. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, panelists. It's indeed speaking to you and listening to you. It's a very brainstorming session. And to conclude with, I will ask Sakshi Kulkarni to present the flower of bouquet to our panelists.